Hello everybody and a warm welcome to a brand new series. It's going to be Euro Truck Simulator 2, the Lorry lobby or something along those lines, as I just like to talk to you about random topics that come to my mind and that sort of thing. So it's a very good game. I've been playing it for about 8 hours now. My brother even likes it as well, so that's great. But I'm going to be here talking to you about different things. But before I do, I'll just turn down the volume. It's quite loud. Yeah, so yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm just going to talk to you briefly about what I've been doing in the game so far, and what do I think. So I bought this big DAF XF to be my own personal truck, after earning enough money and taking out a loan from the bank, which you can see down here on the bottom right. So what you have to do first is take a few quick jobs where a hauling company will pay you to deliver their goods to another company. But as you make more money, you buy your own trucks, hire staff and that sort of thing, and you can take your own trailers to different places. So I've basically done that. I've got my headquarters in Dublin. I got a mod to have a fairly decent effort at Dublin. It's not, or Ireland in general, it's not perfect, like you've got no road signs, but if it was genuinely in the game from the start, it would be absolutely amazing. And I really hope Euro Truck Simulator 3 includes more France and Spain and Portugal and maybe Italy as well, but there's plenty of potential and I'm loving this game so far. So you can see I've explored different cities in yellow there, and I'll just try and find a good job to take. So today's topic is going to be a bit controversial, so I'm going to handle some explosives perhaps if I can find any. Let me see, are there any explosives? Alright, never mind about the explosives idea. The best I can find, because I'm in in Wales there, I'm going to go to Grimsby. That's about 226 game miles. And we'll get started now. So when you're in your actual truck, you need to go to the destinations themselves, whereas you pick a quick job. Oops, get out of neutral. If you pick the quick job, you can be instantly transported there. So that's a garage for sale. If I had 180,000 euros, I could buy that. But I don't, and I'm not taking out another loan because I've already got a loan deal done with the bank. So yeah, that's that. I need to find this trailer, Bob. Yeah, it's just down there. Okay. Yeah, so my headquarters are in the Dublin mod. It's really cool. Just to have it. I'm grateful that we have it, but it's not perfect. But I'm gonna basically do most of my jobs in continental Europe and the UK and that sort of thing. So let's firmly get talking about the topic of the day, and that is alcoholism and Ireland. So yeah, no pulling punches there, but in case I haven't told you, I'm pretty much a passionate non-alcoholic. What that means is I just hate drinking of any sort apart from my favorite drink, which is water and soy milk. I really just don't like the taste of alcohol or any of that. So that's why I call myself a passionate non-alcoholic. But you must be thinking, how can you possibly manage as someone from Ireland and Dublin in particular? But you'll be surprised, people, I've made my decision pretty much early, and I've been shown nothing but respect. I know there's peer pressure all the time, but I generally just get treated fairly. No one seems to harass me about it. So, but there are plenty of other advantages and disadvantages to it, so you just have to be careful. And we'll just pick up our trailer now in a minute. So yeah, so basically I purely just drink water, so that means it's free in most nightclubs and bars. It's unfortunate that I kind of do scab off them, but people spend so much on pints and other forms of alcohol, so there's no real point if they're making so much money that one person can't get away with it for being a little bit different. So that's the way. All I really spend on a night out is for taxis and that sort of thing. That's really. Like there's no real hassle if you don't drink and go out on nights as such. But man, I don't really like going out all the time. Like maybe once a month, twice a month for people's birthdays and stuff. That's what I do, and I generally have a good time. So probably the first question is, how on earth can you cope with people intoxicated all around you? And it's actually not that difficult. Like whoops, this is a tight turn. I'm watching my mirrors and all that. Yeah, so how do you cope? So what I do basically is just I try and have a good time. Like yeah, and this guy's letting me through. So basically I just try and have a good time, and like when there's a dance floor, oh that was close. When there's a dance floor or something, I don't mind getting up and having a go, because I believe that the key to enjoying yourself is adrenaline and momentum. So if you've got the momentum going, then obviously you don't want to stop. And if your adrenaline's pumping, ah, damn it, I knew it would rain. Alright, we'll have to turn on our lights and wipers there. So yeah, so this game is very enjoyable in the daytime and when it's sunny, because it's really nice. The graphics are really nice when the roads are well detailed. So I'll change lane in a moment. There's a guy coming here. Yeah. So yeah, the key is basically if you're gonna like, you don't have to think too hard. That's another thing. Like people when they're drunk, they obviously lose their train of thought and their what would you call it? Their like their intelligence, I suppose, their knack and their that sort of thing. But if you're not drunk, you can just try and take your mind off it and have a you can just try and have a decent enough time. Like it's hard. Like the worst thing obviously is when you're trying to talk, the music and all that is generally too loud and it's really annoying. Like you have to shout just to get heard, and it's really annoying. But when you actually do get up to dance or something, I don't mind it whatsoever. I have a really good time. I have no shame, you know, I have no real shyness when I get going. So yeah, that's like, I know it would be hard for some people, but you just have to think that you can do it. You just need to believe in yourself and don't rely on alcohol if necessary. And yeah, but the nightclubs in particular, like I really don't like them. I do make the sacrifices for birthday parties and other like celebrations for exams and stuff, but you know, in general, like it's just something about them. Like one time I didn't wear a pair of jeans into it was like my first year in college, and I didn't have a pair of jeans. I was just wearing casual trousers, and I was basically not permitted into the nightclub on the grounds that I was wearing a tracksuit, inverted commas. Like it's not a tracksuit. A tracksuit is a different material composition entirely. So I was extremely embarrassed and upset about it. Like it was like they tried to bargain with me saying, oh, you can come in as long as you just sit there and don't get up to the dance floor. That was just a complete insult, and I decided to go home, that sort of thing. That was one. And yeah, and I suppose bars, like they're okay, like if you want to watch a sports event or have a chat, but in general, like I would be more in favour of the pubs, but you know, there's just not much. There's not much really. Like it's me, the people, that makes it fun. Because if you go to a bar on your own, you're gonna have an absolute nightmare because it's so boring. But yeah, I just mainly go out on nights because of the people. Like I don't need the alcohol to keep me happy. So that's another thing. And yeah, nice straight road here. What else do you say? So I suppose the next point is you know, like what's like the thing in the Dáil chamber. Like if you're British or non-Irish, you wouldn't know what the Dáil is. It's basically our House of Parliament. And just a few days ago, during the abortion debate and the whole vote, one or two TDs, Chocty Dolly or MPs to the non-Irish, where they had gone to the House of Parliament bar to have a few drinks, like maybe 2 or 3, because it went on late into the night. And one of them took a female politician and put her onto his lap, and he goes, "I'll show you a good time," or some other piece of banter. And she laughed it off because it was like 4 a.m. or something stupid. But it's been very controversial for many reasons, like it's sexism, like pretty much chauvinism at its worst, and the whole drinking aspect makes us look ridiculous yet again. Like the stereotype, it's 100% true. I hate to admit it, but you know, it's the same with other countries, but we have just our own bad relationship with alcohol, to be honest. And yeah, this guy's going to need to overtake me. So yeah, I won't you know, I argue for a moment, we do have a drinking problem in this country, but it's just something that needs to be tackled, but we don't know how. But it's just a complete insult that, you know, yet again our politicians have been caught up in this sort of thing. But it's hard to judge because, you know, lots of people enjoy a casual night out or a few drinks, and this is what these TDs have done. So you know, they're not, you know, any different to us, but they really should have been more aware of their responsibilities and all that stuff. So yeah, so when people do get hooked and addicted and that sort of stuff, it's very dangerous. Like I'd say it's worse than most illegal drugs, like, because it's just so easy to access, and you know, it's very popular and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's very upsetting. Like, I don't want to be part of this drinking culture at all, but it's basically the primary way to have fun in this country. Because if you want to you know, go to a match or a sporting event, you probably want to have a few pints in you, and you want to have that, and maybe you're going on a communion or a confirmation or something. You go to a dinner after it, or other family occasion. You'll go to a dinner and you might get served alcohol and that sort of thing. So it's definitely evident. It's just nothing I don't like. I've just no interest in it whatsoever. I just happily have a water because I drink to quench my thirst and that sort of thing. So it's just, that's mainly my attitude. And what else can I say? Yeah, so that's that. And perhaps what else? I know there's something else. Yeah, basically, I'm sure there'll be people who will be in my personal life saying, like, you're one to talk about your abstinence and pioneerism and general distaste towards cigarettes and alcohol and that sort of thing, but you're addicted to video games, and that's, you know, that's absolutely true. Like, I love my games. I spend way too much time on them, and it's bad for my health. But compare it to alcohol, it's child's play. You know, this is much better to be addicted to than alcohol. There's no question. Like, you're basically, for the most part, you're in your own house or you're in a friend's house or something, so you're not causing distress to the general public by wrecking, you know, the public property or someone else. You might be violent towards them, you know, that sort of thing. It's extremely social as well as antisocial. Bear that in mind. Like, I've had so many memories and stuff playing with friends, not only in the online era, but of course the PlayStation 2 era and PS1 era, of course, where I'd have all sorts of crazy, you know, good times with my friends, and that's the other thing. It's suitable for all ages. You know, games can be, you know, a lifelong passion. Whereas alcohol, you have to wait till you're 18, but people can't wait until they're 18 anymore. So it's another thing about reducing the age or even increasing it. So it's just a real mess. Like, it's a great tradition. Like, we do have for all the bad I've mentioned, there is good. Like, you know, it relaxes people. You know, it keeps them, you know, on the straight and narrow. It keeps, you know, it gives a different perspective. Like, I try to be different when I'm on a night out to kind of compensate, because it's not really fair on people who drink to have a pioneer of a friend and you have them behave exactly the same or extremely shy or something, like, fair enough. Like, people are really good storytellers when they're a little bit drunk and that sort of thing. So there is that benefit. And then there's the disadvantages of being a pioneer, such as, you know, there's the whole stigma. If you're like brand new to it, like I know there's my subscribers under the age of 18 watching this, and if you're new to it and your friends start early, they're going to be hassling you. Like, I avoided this because I made my choice early and that sort of stuff, but if you consider it, you know, you're going to get harassed, and if you say no, then that's a big problem. So there's that issue. If you want to object, it's very difficult if your friends are that way. And then I suppose the issues of a relationship, like from personal experience, I'm not going to get a girlfriend, you know, out of being a pioneer at the minute. Like, I really don't think, like, people mainly find love by going out to these nightclubs and shit, and they're getting locked and making out, and they're getting a shift and that sort of stuff. That's personally not for me, and you know, it's just probably the most difficult part, because, you know, you really don't want to miss out on the opportunity to have a boyfriend or girlfriend, depending on their preferences. But it's just, you know, that's just a difficult aspect. And you know, the way girls nowadays, I think it's a mixed bag. Like, if girls were, you know, a lot less into the drink as the boys, there'd be a real issue with society. I'd say there'd be so many conflicts and stuff. That wouldn't be fair. And then on the other hand, if the girls are on it as well, you're going to have a lot less unprotected sex and violence, and, you know, friendships being torn up and that sort of thing. So it's just a bit of a shame. Like, I'm not going to get a girlfriend out of it unless I really try my backside off. But I'm just happy making these videos for you guys, and I hope it's an interesting topic, and there's plenty more I could mention. If this was a live stream, I could definitely answer some questions for you whilst I played, but you know, it's just not easy. Like, if I am, like, the other thing is, I love Ireland. Like, I just don't feel comfortable being, like, away from home, like, just because it's not as entertaining. And my friends and family are all here for the most part, and I'm not a very good holiday maker, for example, because you know, there's just less to do in foreign countries, like, unless I specifically saved up for it. Whereas if I'm on a family holiday, I'm at the you know, my parents' expense, and you can't always have a good time, and you're a bit bored sometimes, but that's just the way. But as I said, I could never emigrate. Like, I know there's a recession, but I could never emigrate out of choice. Like, it personally upsets me that people take emigration so lax and, you know, casual, and think, it's a big party, but it's not. It's absolutely not. And I just don't want the hassle of emigration to, you know, tear my life apart unless I really needed to, or if I planned for it. But definitely I would work abroad, and hopefully I wouldn't get too many hassles about being a non-alcoholic from other cultures, but I really don't know. I'm sure it's basically the same. So we're getting our money taken away now from the bank as we get closer to Rill. Oh no, it's not Rill, it's Grimsby, isn't it? Yeah, it's a good long journey, this. And our junction is coming up now, so I'm not too sure. I didn't time this video. I was meant to do a stopwatch job, see how long this is taking, but yes, we're getting off at the Birmingham intersection, I think. So yeah, let's just talk about this game just for a little while again. Yeah, it's very immersive. Like, just some of the detail is quite bad on some roads, because you know, they can't really do everything perfect, but at the same time, when the detail is good, it's sensational. Like, I just love the little details, and you know, the whole the fact that the cars are pretty much licensed, like, as well as the trucks. Like, there's no logos or anything on them, but you have your Ford Focuses, Land Rover, the Land Rover Discovery, or whatever it's called. There's a Skoda, for example. It's all really cool. Like, I really do admire the attention to detail, and it's a different kind of game. Like, there's no enemy, there are no set objectives. Like, you choose at your own pace what you want to do, and it just seems like a good deal to me. Like, 15 euros off the Steam sales was very good. I was really happy that they did a half price, and again, the fact that I have a steering wheel saves even more money on the short term, because if you didn't have a steering wheel, you're basically not going to be able to play this game. It's very unfortunate. You know, it's a bit of a difficult game to play without certain controls. Same with flight sims. Flight sims, if you're not passionate about, you know, flying, then you won't want to buy a joystick, and you won't be able to enjoy the games as much if you played with a keyboard or a games controller. So it's just, I would recommend it if you have some sort of interest in this sort of thing. I'm getting very bad lag now because of fraps. I see some question marks on the map there. I'm not sure if you can, but that's for the truck dealerships and the recruitment agencies, where I can buy trucks for myself and my employees, and also, you know, actually find employees in the first place. Just some drawbacks. I mentioned the brakes are very sensitive. Like, I have it set too high, and the same with the rain. I'll put it a little bit too high. You know, I'd rather it rained a little bit less often, but that's just the way I've set the game up. And the gears, I really wish there was a tutorial on how to set up the gearbox, because you've got 12 gears as opposed to the typical 6 in your regular motor car or that sort of thing. But just very difficult to play with manual gears and that sort of thing. So my recommendation is to go for simple automatic or realistic automatic, which has the 12 gears, but it does it all for you. So let's just go. We need to watch our mirrors again. Luckily this is a closed off road, so we're nearly at our destination. You can just see it, the glowy sign. I've done pretty well actually. I haven't made any mistakes. That's usually what gets you your cash money. And I suppose if you really have the desire to unlock all the cities and stuff, go for it. Like, it sounds really good. I just hopefully have some more topics for you to talk about, but I certainly do. Like, I'll have more positive ones in future, but this was just a controversial one to get you rolling. Like, I've no problem with people who wish to have a casual enjoyment of alcohol. Like, that's what it's for. I perfectly accept that. But if people just constantly get drunk and embarrass themselves online with photographs and that sort of bollocks, then I'm just, you know, gonna try and fight tooth and nail to reduce that. And I just, you know, I've just been fortunate. Like, I'll say right now, I'm very fortunate that I have the picky attitude towards drink. Like, not just I'm not just alcohol here. I hate fruit drinks, I hate energy drinks, I hate tea, coffee, basically wine. I don't like wine. Basically just anything apart from water and soy milk. Like, that's all I'll have. And I'm similarly picky with my food, which is a bit less good because I have a bit of a bad diet from time to time, but I'm not like overweight or anything. Like, I exercise every now and then. But I'm kind of grateful that I've been given such bad, you know, high pickiness and that sort of thing. So it's kept me away from the bad stuff. If I did enjoy alcohol, I probably would get a bit hooked on it every now and again. But that's honestly my opinion. If you disagree, then let me know in the comments. But if you've reached this stage of the video, I respect that. And if you have any more topics in particular that you'd like me to talk about, please put them down. As well as that, you can probably ask me a few questions I can write down. And I know one of them was to talk about Formula 1, because that's my favourite sport, apart from football. And it's basically fallen out of class. Like, it's just terrible in comparison to what it was. when I was growing up and even before that. So that was my journey from Real to Birmingham. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. And depending on your feedback, this series can grow and grow and grow, but it's all about Football Manager for me. Le Mans is the top dog of my channel at the minute, and I hope you enjoy it. But this will be a nice casual thing to do every now and again, the Lorry lobby. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.